Slackers? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Slack Cast. I'm Andy here with Pete and Thompson. Today, we're going to talk about video games.
Is that why it's very special? Isn't that what we always do?
I mean, every episode's very special because there's love in our hearts, Pete.
That's true. Every episode's very special because we get to spend it here with you.
Also, this is the internet, so we're like spending all eternity with you when you think about it.
We'll be here forever.
And ever.
And ever.
And Thompson was there too! So,
welcome back. It's
Welcome
episode
back.
12. We're talking about games. What are you guys
Games.
playing this week?
still Fire Emblem. I talked about it last week. It's still Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Anything new?
Not really. Just grinding.
Cool.
It's a good to, turn off your brain, go visit some other people's castles, get shit for it.
Cool. Sweet. Thompson?
Evolve, since we talked about it.
Me too.
Like 60 hours into that. So that was fun. That was good. I didn't even know it was going to go free to play until last week. So that's fun.
Yeah.
That's actually it.
Yeah, I
Nothing else.
played a couple hours with you last night for the first time, and initial impressions are definitely positive. Obviously, Thompson's into it with 60 hours spent in a week.
It's fun.
For hunting or monstering?
I think I prefer monstering, but I'm not good at it.
Okay.
It's fun, but the hunting is also really it's more typical, but it's challenging.
So I haven't played either of them yet, but you guys have played both of them now. Do you prefer Evolve or Horror Movie Evolve, aka Dead by Daylight?
I
prefer Evolve.
like them.
Honestly.
I like them both for different reasons. I think I need to spend more time with Evolve before I can make a final statement on that.
Okay.
But I think Dead by Daylight's more tense because I feel more powerless in that, whereas Evolve feels more balanced.
Cool.
And the flow of matches is really interesting. The monster evolves each stage. The first stage, the monster is at a disadvantage. The second stage, it's equal footing, and then the third stage, you have a advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
Cool.
It's different. It's very unique. I'm glad that they tried to salvage it as opposed to just letting it be a failure.
I mean, it's so weird, that it's come back from the dead after... It's been 2 years since that game came out, and then just nosedive off a cliff at launch.
And then came out of nowhere, and they're like, "Hey, it's back!"
It's free to play now,
with no indication that was even going to happen.
Wow.
Since it went free to play, it went up, I think, 2,500% player base.
Oh yeah.
That's not. It was 100 people, and now there's on average 3,000 people at any given time.
Right.
Well, that's great. So at least you play it.
And it's crazy because that percent that you just threw out is not even hyperbolic.
No,
it's
real.
actually
it's a real
around
percentage.
that
It's
number.
something like 2,500, and I remember reading it last night somewhere, and it's very close to that number.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Good for them. Let's hope they can keep that momentum.
If you do the daily rewards, you get free characters, which I saw. So every 7 days, and each character.
And they give you 2 for free just for completing the tutorial, which is cool. So.
I mean, oh my god, don't talk to me about tutorials right now. I started playing Magic Duels, and it's do you know how to play Magic the Gathering? No, you don't.
Yeah, I gave up.
Play through some origin stories while we use a really terrible interface, and I know I said the other night that I was enjoying Magic Duels. I was 20 minutes into it. I'm now an hour and 20 minutes into it, and will never touch it again.
Yeah, I gave up.
That
when
sucks.
I did that earlier.
That really
a couple
sucks.
months ago, or whatever that first came out. No.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's so bad.
I really want Wizards to get their shit together and put out a good Magic the Gathering app.
It's just it's so weird too, because it's things that should work. It's the interface is impossible. I can never get it to look and see what my opponent's field is. About half the time, the computer will play a card. It'll just be instead of holding it out where I can see the card they're playing, it'll just be whoosh, and just fly through every stage of it, and then my thing is dead, and I don't know why it's dead.
That's awful.
Yeah, you can't respond. You're hey, the counterspell. No, it already happened, resolved, your creature's gone.
Yeah.
It's what? What have I could stop this? Why do I have these?
And it's got all these fucking really annoying arrows that are this is the card you should play. These are the monsters you should attack with.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating because it wasn't ever perfect, but I felt the Magic the Gathering games that they had on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
During the last gen were all pretty close.
They were
to
good.
what we would.
They were okay.
They were fine. But they were definitely I played them. I played them every time they came out. And I was excited about them because they scratched that itch. You know, and I'd be down even just for that. For a game that's that good.
Yeah.
That's a mobile version of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Or, one that's on,
Or just like, honestly, all I want is like I know how to play Magic, let me skip these tutorials. Like,
yeah.
if I hit that and I go in and I just like get bodied because I built a crappy deck or whatever, that's my fault. That's not on the game.
Yeah. A game should never force you to sit through a tutorial. Like, you should always have the option to get through it.
Yeah.
At least for something multiplayer, I think.
Yeah, or like something where it's feasible that you could come in knowing it. If it's a sequel, or if it's something like Magic where it's a digital implementation of like a tabletop game.
It's like, just let me click a box it's like, I know the rules. Like, it's fine.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm in a similar boat to you. I'm not playing too much new this week. I started Stardew Valley, and I'm having a ton of fun with that. And I finished Undertale, finally. Loved it.
You finish all the runs? Or?
No, I'm almost
Okay.
done with my second run now. I did, obviously I got the neutral playthrough.
Right.
And now I'm about done with the pacifist playthrough.
Okay. And don't do a genocide playthrough, or it'll just make you feel bad.
Yeah, I don't want to.
That was my first one.
You're a monster.
Well, I didn't know. Well, I figured out now.
I mean, I guess to be fair, I can't necessarily, like, give you shit for killing monsters that attack you in an RPG.
I killed everything.
Yeah.
All the way through. Because fuck 'em. Like, seriously. I was like, you know what? I gotta level up. And, yeah. Boy, did I feel like an asshole.
Yeah. And I love how it waits till the very end of the game to tell you that. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
I remember sitting there and I turned around and looked at Alyssa and I was just like, I'm trash. I'm just so garbage.
Human garbage.
I just like,
delete your account.
No.
I had that same feeling when I played through the second time and I realized that you don't have to kill Dog Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I killed her in the
don't have
first
to-
game.
Nobody needs to die. Not
I know.
even a single character.
You just be like, Dog Mom, I'm not gonna kill you, and she just like gives up.
Yeah. And like,
Oh,
or you can
Goat
literally
Mom.
just like
You mean Goat Mom?
continually
Goat
try
Mom.
to.
Yeah.
She looks like
Yeah,
a
Goat Mom. You can continually try to like just spare her and she'll just be like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Stop, fine, leave, don't ever come back."
Oh fuck, the Papyrus's fight is still the hardest one in the game, I think.
Really?
On neutral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, watch out for my special blue attack,
Yeah.
and then you gotta like do the real intense fucking platforming.
Yeah. I don't know. I got through his fight, I think, on my second or third try.
That one took me forever. Like,
What's the robot's name?
oh
Meditatum.
god, yeah.
Yeah, his was the hardest for me.
Okay.
Like, that one was a real pain. The last one, it was like, that
Yeah.
was such a bitch.
Um.
And then it made me feel bad afterwards, too. Like,
Yeah, really.
No, the only one I never felt bad was that stupid robot.
Yeah.
Seriously, I hated it.
no, because, like, I just felt bad at the end because then, like, he gives you that little speech where he's just like, like, this entire thing was a ruse. And he's like, I don't really want to kill humans. It's like, I just wanted to be an entertainer. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just
no.
doing what I was programmed to do. And it's just like, god damn. It's like, why do I have to fucking... It's like, why, Undertale? Why you make me do things that make me uncomfortable?
It's the point.
I know.
The only one I really like felt bad about in my first playthrough, like right at the moment, was that knight that was trying to like capture you. I can't remember her name.
The Fish Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like
crap,
dead
what's her
basically,
name?
and then she comes back like pretty much with the last burst of energy and slowly fades away every single turn. Says something. I'm just like, end this fight already! It's been 10 turns of sadness.
That was rough. I can't remember
It
her name.
was so drawn out.
Yeah,
It's really bothering me.
Udine.
Udine.
Yeah.
Or is it Undine?
Undine, something like
Yeah.
that.
Undine, whatever.
There's a Y, starts with a U.
Yeah.
But it was.
I kept wanting
that
to
was
say
painful.
Asgore, and it's like, no, it's not Asgore. It's like the head of his guard.
Yeah.
That would make me feel real bad during the fight.
I know.
Other than that, I was
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever.
I got lucky, and my first playthrough, I did a pacifist run because I didn't know it wouldn't give you the pacifist ending the first time. And then if you do that, you can just reload your save. It's like, now do these other like side quests to get the end of the pacifist run.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
But I got really lucky, and I bought a spider donut.
Yeah, I also did that. Like, that fight was also really crazy hard, and I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to beat this. And then she's like, oh, we realized you donated to our cause.
Yeah.
Fight over. We're friends. It's like,
Sorry, man.
it's like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because, like, that part of the game, and then Asgore's fight, too, are both, like, there's, like, if you don't have gold because you're not, like, fighting a lot of things, it's really hard to get through those two fights because, like, there's not shops nearby. So unless you had a bunch of items that you were sitting on or you backtrack, like, you go into them, pretty blind. Like, I remember the first couple times I fought Asgore, I didn't have any items, and I was just like, I can't do this. I had to walk all the way back.
What is it? It's like the dog plasma, or whatever it is. Yeah, the one that like fills your inventory with dog plasma and occasionally another item. You just gotta do that until you have a full inventory of potions. Which is super annoying. But
what I just did was I had all the items that I had gotten throughout the game saved because I actually never went to the the like little weird cat village. Like I forget what they're called, like the Timmies or whatever. Like
and you never went to sell stuff.
Yeah, so I just sold all my shit and then just bought a bunch of like the cinnamon buns and then that thing you get at the last shop, that like the hero sandwich or whatever that gives you an attack burst. And I just fucked him up and I was just like, oh my god, that was awesome. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because that fight is also pretty hard.
That fight's pretty hard. The like secret final boss ending fight is really hard, so be ready for it.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, in the pacifist you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Because alright, I guess I will be. Because, like, the boss fights in that game are pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Like, that game was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be, like, this, cool atmospheric turn-based RPG.
Nope.
And it's like, no, it's so much different. If you guys haven't played Undertale, go play it. Like, definitely.
Definitely play Undertale.
It's fucking incredible.
Also, play Overwatch.com. Segways.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to move on to the news, guys. We've got 7 items on the list this week. We're going to kick things off with a simple one. The rumor that we discussed last week about Overwatch's new character, Ana, has been confirmed. She is Pharah's mother. She is a sniper support. She's all the things we discussed.
She's a sniper that shoots her own team with healing guns.
So, if you want to learn more about that, go to playoverwatch.com and check it out.
Oh god, I have no bigger fear than that's the one healer on my team and they're a shit sniper.
Right? Oh god.
Oh god.
I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see how she plays and what her offensive capabilities are. And how good they are.
I mean, from what I've seen, they're not great. It's like she's got her healing gun and she can amp up your guys or do stuns and shit.
Okay, so it's kind of like a play on Mercy's thing, but then there's stuns.
Yeah, she has stuns and shit, and doesn't look like she has much, if any, damage of her own.
Okay, that's interesting too, though.
True support, but just plays like sniper.
All right, well, we'll see.
Next up, Telltale's Batman game got a release date ish. The box version comes out September 13th. Digital comes out sometime in August.
Sometime, literally those direct quotes. Sometime in August.
In August. So, game looks cool. They built a new engine for it.
So, I mean, yeah. It looks really interesting. I'm excited to see it. I'm really excited for that game.
I mean, I don't know how excited I am for that game.
Why's that?
I've been sort of let down by Telltale recently. I don't know. I really like Tales from the Borderlands, but I didn't think Game of Thrones was great.
Yeah, I agree.
And I
didn't play Tales from the Borderlands.
I still haven't played Minecraft. But
well, I mean,
I didn't think Game of Thrones was great. I don't think Walking Dead Season 2's great. It's okay.
Okay.
It's Tales from the Borderlands was fun, but Telltale trying to do serious stories and stuff, they've been trying to recapture Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead Season 1 magic, and it hasn't worked for me.
Okay. I can see that. I haven't played Tales from the Borderlands. I got it on a flash sale and just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I agree with Game of Thrones. I wasn't enamored with it.
I was whelmed.
Yeah, I finished it. It was fine, but
you're just whelmed.
Yeah. It was all right. It did a lot of things well in terms of what I think Telltale does really well, which is kind of crawl inside what makes a franchise special and give you a bite-sized piece of it while telling a new story, and they did that well-ish. Mm-hmm. I think in terms of giving us multiple perspectives of different characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think the narrative really held it back because if you know anything about Game of Thrones, you know that this game has no impact on the world.
Yep, and it's not like The Walking Dead where the setting is the setting and the characters are the characters. The Game of Thrones characters are the setting,
right,
more or less.
Yeah, and it's not like The Walking Dead too, where it can kind of brush up against the narrative that already exists in ways that are interesting. It's just kind of tries to exist inside it, but it fails because you know that these events don't matter,
right?
And that any one of these characters is expendable. So, meh.
Yo, learn how to mod. Replace every character in Telltale's Game of Thrones with a different cast member from the Expendables.
What a horrible waste of time.
Sylvester Stallone as the daughter in King's Landing.
That would
Jason Statham as the mom.
The dialogue doesn't change at all, though. It's just the mods. Like, I was just gonna say, in defense of Telltale, I did really like Minecraft. You should play it. It's worth playing. The cast carries it really well, and the story is good in a way that was unexpected. So, worth your time, I would say. Especially if you can get it on like a nice sale.
Cool. You want to take this
I
one?
like Tales from the Borderlands, so there you go.
Tales from Borderlands it had a lot of heart. He was like, we're going to tell a story in Borderlands, despite the fact that the universe is not conducive to storytelling.
Yeah, like that's great. That's
And
I liked it.
I'm just not a huge fan of Batman though, so like I don't know. I feel like you got to be like into Batman to like dig it, you know. And
Yeah,
Telltale could be the best game ever, but I may not enjoy it just because I'm not a huge fan of Batman.
I think that's kind of the point of Telltale, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it's their, like you and I are fans of Telltale and, like, the kind of game that they make, and generally seem to vibe with most of the franchises that they pick, so, like, we do play every game that they do.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to play every game they put out. You know, I think that they do that kind of, like, rapid scattershot like that, because it is supposed to be, like, you know, oh, I like The Walking Dead, so I'll play The Walking Dead. Or, like, I like Batman, so I'll play Batman, you know? And, you know, that works to mixed results, I guess. You know, if the only game you'd ever played by them was Game of Thrones, I'd feel sorry for you. But you know what? I would say to counteract your point, I don't think you need to read or watch The Walking Dead to have enjoyed that game.
No, I know.
Or The Wolf Among Us, because I never read Fables.
I wasn't saying that for all of them, just for the Batman one, I think.
I can understand that.
I think just for that one, it's pretty,
that's fair.
with its own thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
I hear that.
you can get something out of all those games. It's just like, if you just don't care for Batman, it's like whatever.
I would. I get why you'd skip that one.
It's whatever. All right, well, next one.
Yeah, you want to move on to this one, Tom?
Ooh, Total War Warhammer gets another race, the Beastmen. It's another DLC coming out. It's like the 7th race now, I think. Yeah, 7th race after Chaos.
How many came in the base game? 5, right?
5, and Bretonia is supposed to be like fleshed out more later, like for free.
Okay.
So like it's there, but like they have a very limited roster.
Okay. And then
Chaos,
I know Chaos was the last one that came.
Right,
Okay.
and then Beastmen are really just like what happens when Chaos isn't always attacking. There's the Earth itself is pretty much like destroyed, right? The ground is tainted, and it's like you always have like that representation in like fantasy things where like even like Lord of the Rings does it, where like elves are pure and the orcs are just corrupted elves, right? Beastmen are pretty much just like what happens when nature is all fucked up. You get goat-headed men that want to just kill everything, you know. So that's just their story. Like not much to them other than that, but they're really integral to the plot.
They're adding like a ton of content.
So yeah, it adds their entire race list, which is it's like 6 tiers of units, 2 new lords to play for them, a mini campaign with its own map. It's like
called Eye for an Eye.
Right, it's a whole story
campaign thing.
Right, it's not like the grand campaign from the game. It's its own little side thing. They got a new lore of magic, which is Lore of the Wild. So the game has already like 8 lores, and it's just a whole other magic side, which is it's huge.
Oh, that's cool. So that's
it's
a pretty substantial.
It's like it's their own thing.
Cool.
They just do their own unique spells and all that.
Sweet.
And they have like a bunch of ambush mechanics, and they have a ton of Vanguard deployment. So if you play the game, you know what that means.
Yeah, and you can. I remember when we were taking a look at it. You can pre-order right now, and it's like
it's like 10% off.
Yeah, it's like for like $17. So if you're interested, it might be a good time to
So I
snag
think
that
it's
while
I think
it's
it's
on
like
sale.
I think it's less than that even.
Okay.
It's like
cool.
Under 15 even.
Sweet.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely if you want to check that out, it's up on Steam
Comes
right
out
now.
the 28th.
Cool. So moving on to the next item, we got a couple pieces of Nintendo news. Darkrai has been confirmed as a playable character for Pokken Tournament via a Japanese trailer on Namco Bandai's YouTube channel. So you guys can go check that out if you want to see the screens.
Someday we'll update our video so Pete can body me with Darkrai too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm like really excited. He looks interesting. He looks like he has kind of like a Gengar like playstyle, like that like kind of far away, like using the range attack stuff. So that's pretty cool. I like Darkrai. So in other Nintendo news, this is the big one. Nintendo's shares have jumped 70% in this week, thanks to Pokemon Go. They jumped 10% overnight, like the night after the game came out, and then have just continually risen this week, which is fucking crazy. Good for them. They certainly need a win right now. This is the biggest increase in their stock since 1989 when they released Dragon Warrior here in the States. Despite the fact that Nintendo is only a part owner of like the Pokemon Company and was not even directly involved in this game at all, had nothing to do with the development or publishing. It was all the Pokemon Company and Niantic. Not totally sure how that loophole works. I guess it's that Nintendo only owns the rights to making Pokemon games on home consoles and portable consoles, not mobile devices.
Well,
I guess
they
maybe
get money.
maybe apps count as like a
Licensing fees,
loophole.
man.
Yeah, totally. So they definitely have skin
Yeah.
in the game, but it's interesting that their stock jumped so much for something that they literally
That's
didn't
a
even
lot.
do.
That's a lot for any company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what.
So good for them though. They
Good for
definitely
them.
need it, and hopefully that'll help them get a little bit of capital in moving into the launch of the NX.
Sun and Moon are gonna come out as like fucking VR experiences now because of this.
Also, Pokemon Go's in the UK. Also, more Nintendo news. They're putting out the mini NES for November.
Yeah, it's called the NES Classic.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's like a little baby NES.
It's one of those like plug and play things that has games loaded in it.
30
It's got like
games.
30 NES games. It's gonna be $60, I think.
It's
at
50.
launch. 50.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
great value.
Good Christmas present for all your like little shitty little nieces and nephews out there. You don't know what they like. Just
Yeah,
be
you
like,
wanna
here.
Teach
have,
them about classic games.
Have some classics, kids.
Comes out on
11.
November 11th.
What
Yeah.
about controllers? Does it come with 2 controllers?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
then, there you go.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
Two
like
controllers totaling 12 buttons.
it's a really really
12 buttons!
I have to say it's a great deal. Like
No, it
it's
really
a
is.
really cool, and it's like actually looks like an NES, which
Yeah,
is cool.
It's just
Like
tiny. It's like
yeah,
when they made the PS2
it's-
and they're
it's
like,
nice.
you know what? It's 1/3 the size.
yeah, it's a nice build quality thing. I wish it had a top loading thing so you could play carts on it, but
I mean,
that'd be asking
yeah.
for a lot. So
I
definitely.
mean, you have to blow into it. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you don't want to do that.
If you guys are interested, check that out. I thought that putting that as obviously not the biggest piece of news on the list, but I thought that would be a nice segue to our topic of discussion this week, which is the current and like upcoming renaissance of the JRPG.
man, we should have done that before the Pokemon news, and then Pokemon. We can start talking about Pokemon. We can start talking about Pokemon is JRPG.
I mean,
man.
it's
Well,
not,
let's do that now. So Pokemon's a JRPG,
No, it's
and yeah,
Just because it's a Japanese, it's not like
Whoa,
it's
whoa,
not
whoa.
like the.
Yeah, like the Pokemon, like the main series Pokemon games are Babby's first JRPG.
yeah,
I'll give you
definitely.
that. For the first level entry, yeah, okay. Fine.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
the
fine.
gateway
Yeah.
drug.
Fine.
Totally. And again, like I want to say that like I always give them that kind of moniker. That's not a like dig at the games. Like they're an introduction to JRPGs. Like that's what they
Yeah.
are. And then if you're an adult man who plays them, there's a deep ass strategy game so that you can cockfight genetic
EVs
monsters.
and IVs and
Hey,
God help
man,
us all.
there's a riveting story in every Pokemon game.
I wish there was. I
There
really
is.
do.
That's a pretty good. Team Plasma was pretty good. I like them.
It was almost good.
It was like okay. You know, you had fun with it.
Team,
You know you did.
whatever the team was in the last game, made a 30 Rock joke and they were cool.
My least favorite part with
Uh,
my least favorite fact about like the Pokemon stories and why I always think they're bad is that like all of them have the threads of an interesting plot that they just don't acknowledge. Like the first game, it's like, where's your dad? Right? Like like that would be really interesting. Like seriously, I fucking I'm fucking working on a video where like I reference this, but like what if you just found out at the end of the game that Giovanni was your dad? And that, like, the entire thing, it's like, oh, you have this whole, like, where's your dad thing the whole time, and then you find out that your dad's this evil dude, and your philosophy of, like, Pokemon are partners and friends, and his philosophy that they're weapons and tools are at odds, you defeat your evil father. It's like, that's a fucking good story.
Man,
it
listen.
is, but like 5-year-olds don't care, and I know when
Listen,
I played it, I didn't
there's
care.
one real answer to where's your dad, and he's been there the whole time.
You are your own.
So you got all these single women, and then Professor Oak.
It's Professor Oak.
Professor Oak is your dad, that's why Gary hates you, because you're his shitty uncle.
Professor Oak fucks. Confirmed. You heard it here.
I mean, that holds pretty solid evidence there. Actually,
I mean, he is always hanging out with Ash's mom.
Can't really
Just
argue
saying.
against it.
I listen, if you were a single older man trying to mac on this hot, like, middle-aged single mom in your small town of 4 houses and, like, no food
That always
stores,
bothered me.
nothing, you're, like, literally consist of 4 houses around the corner from each other, and you fenced in your whole town. Obviously, you're going to try and get rid of the kid and be like, hey, go walk around the whole continent, beat up animals. You can call me whenever you want. Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
Also, you stress to this child that you have to come back not empty-handed. This Pokedex has to be full. Like, that's your job.
You better get
come
some
back
fucking
with
work done, kid.
149, and I'm going to beat you. So, like, you know
And,
that
like,
kid's not going
you
to
gotta make friends in another dimension to trade Pokemon that don't exist.
He gives you, like, almost impossible tasks.
You need to access pocket dimensions and trade with other realities. You better get to work, kid. Meanwhile, I'll be having sex with your mom. Jesus, Andy.
That's dark.
Well, so JRPGs.
That's more or less every Final Fantasy story in a nutshell.
Is it?
Kefka, man.
Not sure about 7 being that, but okay.
No, it's like Cloud is Professor Oak and
Oh my God.
Tifa is Ash. Sephiroth is Ash's mom.
Have you ever played that game?
It's like maybe one day in a world where when they remake it and the remake comes out and someone's influenced, but
Oh God, I don't even want that game to come out.
yeah.
Speaking of which, that is a good segue back to what we were actually trying to talk about. Which
JRPGs.
Yeah, like so.
Are they good? Question mark.
They haven't been for a really long time because they
have
kind
been.
of disappeared, and you'd get a few a year, and they weren't of the caliber they used to be. I feel
They were in a weird place last gen, but they've really picked up steam the past 4 or 5 years because JRPGs sort of existed in the way they were and were as big as they were because like when the moving parts are in the game, you can have your pretty SNES visuals, and it just has to do math and not calculate vectors and graphics and everything. And it can just be numbers, compare these ones, which one's bigger, hit rates and stuff. And so it was great up through the PS1 because it was still doing that kind of shit, and Final Fantasy VII looks like garbage but is a fun game because of the underlying Final Fantasy mechanics. And then the gameplay wasn't compelling enough to be a 360 PS3 thing without significant overhauls, which is where we're getting the shift in JRPGs on consoles. And our handhelds weren't quite at the point where they were running them, but now the 3DS is a wonderful JRPG machine.
I mean, the DS was a pretty good one too. I think you're right that the handhelds weren't able to give you the kind of breadth of experience we expected from JRPGs.
Yeah,
but they did keep them alive.
Castlevania games for the DS were just incredible. They were good. They were
weren't
really
JRPGs.
good.
They're
not
Castlevania
JRPGs,
games.
I'm saying,
Castlevania is a genre in and of itself.
have you played the DS ones? They're pretty weeby. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, that doesn't make them
Weedy
RPGs,
doesn't make them
though.
JRPGs.
Yeah, it's Bayonetta's a weeb game, but it's not a JRPG.
Well, who made them? What company made the Castlevanias?
That doesn't matter though. That doesn't make them JRPGs.
They're not RPGs.
They have RPGs. You have levels, you have items, you have gear, you have everything.
Do you have a turn-based battle system?
So if it's specifically turn-based battle system, then everything after Final Fantasy X doesn't count. So
Yeah, I don't think a turn-based battle system is the only thing that qualifies as an RPG either, though.
that doesn't directly make it.
I think to me,
Star Ocean and Kingdom Hearts don't have turn-based.
right?
You know?
Yeah, they're RPGs.
Yeah,
they're action
RPGs.
RPGs. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
that was weird.
That was
Give
weird.
me a soda.
Damn it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would agree with Andy where I think Metroid. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean Metroid. I was gonna say Metroidvania. Castlevania games are definitely kind of their own thing because they are there is definitely an element of RPGs to them, but they're more they're more side scroller than RPG.
They're action.
They're a 2D action platformer with RPG elements.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe
And
that.
it's when I say JRPG, I mean your Chrono Triggers, your Wild Arms, your Final
Well,
Fantasies, your
Bring up the best one first. You can't go.
your
any
Legends
past
of
that.
Dragoon.
Hey, man.
Big sprawling
God.
worlds, long stories. Huge
Yeah.
long campaigns. Castlevania games have a story,
They do.
but the focus isn't the story. The focus is the gameplay.
So you think that's what makes it more so the story kind of drives it more
Yeah,
than the
the
gameplay?
story
Yeah, I
is
think so.
I think that's a good sort of not definition, but it's a good
It's pretty
facet of
fair.
a definition of a JRPG.
Yeah.
Is that even if it's not good, the story has to be a big element.
Yeah, the story is the focus always.
Or not
maybe not always, but
not always, because I don't know.
Tactics is a good example.
Tactics or Etrian Odyssey is a game I really love that's very much a JRPG, but it has a super minimalist story.
Mhm.
It's just go out and explore and clear this dungeon, and you go through and clear the dungeon, and stuff happens, but not really.
What's the name of this?
Etrian Odyssey.
What?
It's on the 3DS.
3DS. I think I saw a Let's Play of that, and it looked just so boring to me.
It's
and it's one of those things that I knew I would have wanted to get.
Super duper grindy.
Yeah, that's why it looked boring.
I love it.
I like grindy, but dear God.
It's very much I don't know. I enjoy the just turn off your brain and play the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't have to think about this. I can just march around and smack stuff until my numbers go up.
I hear that. I think, I think that does pretty much hit the nail on the head for me. I don't necessarily think turn-based is a part of it, but I think turn-based when I think JRPG.
Yeah.
But I do think the biggest factor for me is just, like, it's big, it's long, and it's story-driven. Are generally, like, the big three for me. And I think not only just story-driven, but character-driven, too. Because, like, there are a lot of JRPGs where, like, the world is the draw.
Would you consider Metal Gear Solid? Those are all those things you said.
No.
Character-driven,
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
But it's an action
long
game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't...
The first one's really not an action. The first one is not at
a
all.
stealth game.
The first
It's
one's
a
yeah,
stealth
it's
action
action.
game.
It's like you get punished for fighting pretty much.
Tactical
Yeah.
espionage
That's
action, man.
Yeah, it's like a stealth action
And
game.
I know it does have action sequences, but I mean,
Yeah.
everything has an action sequence eventually.
Yeah, if I was going to call Metal Gear Solid anything, though, I'd call it stealth.
Yeah, I get
Stealth
that.
action.
Yeah.
But just
like,
based on those things you were describing, it really,
Yeah.
first thing I was thinking, like, it's Metal Gear Solid 1. It's like
So,
all
like,
those things.
I think, like, the good... I think, like, this is definitely, like, an interesting, like, thing to think about, but I think when you talk about any game, there's always, like, what is the genre that it is, and then there are also the things it takes influence from.
Right.
You know, because
Makes
just
sense.
because something has a big story doesn't make it an RPG. You know, like, Uncharted is all about its story. That doesn't make it an RPG. It's not the farthest thing from an RPG.
I mean, let's play it.
You know, it's...
When you think about it, really though, any game is an RPG because you play.
Because you're
a
always...
role.
Yeah, you're always playing a role. So that's... Yeah,
You're
right?
playing a game, so...
No, yeah, like,
that's the
well, I
PG.
think, I guess another thing that maybe we should tack onto our, like, loose definition of RPGs is, like, there's numbers, you know? Like, there's
So many
spreadsheets, there's damage modifiers.
It's
and
not an
stuff, you know?
RPG unless I have to go into Excel and make a spreadsheet and
So
play.
we're talking
my
Armored Core
bits.
now. Armored Core games with literally spreadsheet the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hardcore
I
games
mean-
are RPGs.
No, I know that. I'm saying that, like you want to talk about spreadsheets, like, holy shit. Armored Core definitely does it for you.
Spreadsheets, I love them. I like. There are a few things as satisfying to me as like sitting down and being like, okay, if I do this and like level up here and like invest my points and like Fire Emblem's great for it because you get the eugenics simulator in there too. It's like
Right.
these parents, if you pair them, it gives the kid this skills and you put them in this class.
It's like Pokemon breeding.
seriously
but
do that?
Buffer
I know.
Warriors.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
The two on the 3DS
Wow.
both have
Alright.
like the marriage mechanic where like you pair them up, you do your supports, you get through, you get an S rank support. The characters get married. They have a child who can.
I
then
want
join
to
your
play
army.
this now.
The child inherits all their skills.
Oh wait, there was a game that Ozzy played that had this exact same mechanic, and it was like
it's
it was-
Massive Chalice.
yeah, there we go. So it had like a
That
cup.
one-
There's a cup involved.
Yeah. That one is like that's the whole game.
That's the
you
point,
do
yeah.
it over like generations.
It's like 4 generations or 5 generations of doing
Yeah.
it to get a hero that's like actually good.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Fire Emblem you just do it over one. And
I
it's
mean,
like
that's
you
fine.
can make some broken ass kid units.
That's fine.
I feel like
Child soldier units. That's great. It's like
I feel
nothing.
like that whatever game you just mentioned, Chalice.
Massive
Massive
Chalice.
Massive Chalice is actually a good segue to one of the other things I know we wanted to talk about, which was that there, I think in addition to like seeing a lot of JRPG games coming back and being relevant again, because like we've got Persona 5 this year, we've got finally have Final Fantasy 15 coming out, and these are like big fall games.
Kingdom Hearts 3 exists.
Maybe.
Maybe.
2019 here, 2020 actually, I would guess.
Kingdom Hearts 2.8 is coming. It's like,
Yeah, it is.
that real?
Yeah, it's a real thing, and the sad thing is I'm gonna play it.
it's
'cause
the
I hate
HD
myself.
remaster of like the last two handheld games, right?
Yes.
Ooh, you fans got it rough. Jeez.
Yes. Like, Kingdom Hearts fans, like, we might as well be, like, fucking Mega Man fans.
Yeah,
at this
you
point.
got
It's just like,
screwed.
just give me the game! Do you know, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out when I was in the fucking 7th grade? The 7th grade! I didn't even have hair on my balls yet, and that's when that game came out. You're fucking kidding me! I'm a grown-ass man! Give me Kingdom Hearts 3!
Give me my Mickey Mouse!
I just want to become a Keyblade Master and save the world! Is it too much to ask?
See, now you know what it's like when I was waiting for StarCraft 2 for 11 or 12
No,
years.
I do, and I
Yeah.
sympathize. It's
Because
fucking
it's like, I
bullshit.
waited
Now
over
you
a
know what
decade.
Ozzy's Duke Nukem pre-order felt like.
Oh my god.
or his Diablo 3 pre-order, which he had from the time he was like a 9.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
I had a StarCraft 2 pre-order for 9 years.
Oh, but wait,
9
so
years.
I got sidetracked.
Yes.
Aside from these big AAA JRPGs that are coming out and actually like seem to be like they're going to be big banner titles, you know, games that we're going to be talking about, there's also a really nice like growth of these like smaller titles that we've talked about on the Vita and on the 3DS that are still going strong. But then you have like all these indie games that are like not only from Japanese developers that are clearly very inspired by Japanese role-playing games. You know, games like Banner Saga or, you know, games like Undertale to a degree. And I think that's really interesting too, that I guess people probably our age, you know, who grew up on the PlayStation 1, Super Nintendo eras of JRPGs and are now making games like that, consider like, you know, that have a distinctly Japanese kind of flavor to them, even though they're clearly not.
I mean, I'm getting to a point in just like my life where I don't necessarily, you know, have the time for that 60-hour grindy JRPG playthrough.
Yeah, man, unless it's a really, really great game.
Unless it's a great game. And I'd love to see, like, a bunch of good, shorter games come out. Like, I don't have 60 hours to commit to a game, but if it's good, I got 20. Like, I don't have a problem playing a couple hours for, like, a week and a half. I have a problem when the game expects me to be Thompson and play it from 3 to 6 in the morning.
I'm nocturnal. I have a problem.
Yeah, no, I hear that,
It's not
man.
even that you're nocturnal, it's that you could play the same game at that time.
Because I want to beat something, like, wholeheartedly beat it, and then when I want to talk about it later, it's like, yeah, I understand this game because I trashed it. So it's like, now I can talk about whatever I've, like everything in my Steam library, it's like I have 180-something games, like 140 of them, I've beaten well enough that I can, like, say that I'm done with them.
You can
like,
speak about them.
I could always play them again because they were fun. Maybe some were more fun than others, obviously, but I'm knowledgeable on the subject.
You got the experience.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm the same way, but I'm also in Andy's boat where, like, you know, I like to play games that way, so I get stuck on games for a really long time because they take a long time to beat them. Sometimes,
like my copy of Bravely Default JRPG.
Bravely Default's a great JRPG that I stole from Andy.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, still playing it.
Wow, okay.
Slowly but surely, I will finish that game.
I beat that game, and like 3 months later, I was like, yeah, I want to play this again, but in the time being, Pete, you'd really enjoy this game.
Wow, Pete, it's been 2 years. Danny's had to wait 2 years and 3 months.
I'm a bad person.
I bought that game 27 months ago.
Jeez. How many days is it, too, while we're at it? God damn.
God damn it. Okay.
27 months of ownership, 24 months it's been in Pete's possession.
So to segue out of a topic of discussion that makes me look like a piece of shit.
That's like 800 days.
Yeah, it
on
is.
average. Like, I'm just taking a far guess out there.
You're right. I don't have any defense. There isn't one. The only thing I can say in my defense is I did offer to buy Andy Brown a new copy.
Oh.
So that I could keep my save and just give him a new one. And he's been a good friend and been like, no, dude, just finish it. And I'm just like, I will. And then I don't, because I'm an asshole. So I'm sorry.
All right. Jeez.
But, so to take it back to the thing I was saying before, you know, I'm a scumbag, is, you know, yeah, I'm with you on that, where I am finding more and more that as much as I do still like a big AAA experience every once in a while, like I want a few great experiences like that a year, and then the rest of the year I'm actually like finding myself really being satisfied by these like smaller indie experiences and multiplayer stuff, you know? And I'm like more hype on multiplayer shit than I've ever been in my entire life, which is weird for me, but you know, that's taking a lot of my 5-hour blocks of gaming is playing multiplayer shit with you guys instead of, you know, a chunk of a 60-hour RPG.
Like, I'm interested to see, because it looks like we're at this like divergent point in gaming, where gaming is going 2 ways with like, or maybe 3 if you count like the middle path that things like Uncharted take, where you're like, we're getting into super narrativist experiences and then like almost sports.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so like, I'd be interested to see. Oh.
Yeah! Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Imbesi. For those of you watching at home, there's pizza in Pete's living room. Ooh. When we're filming this, though, so if you don't make it right now.
If you can get here 5 days ago, we got pizza for you. Anyway, you were saying?
Anyway,
two divergent points.
Yeah, where we're getting like these, you know, these narrativist. That's a word I can say.
Sure.
Indie games, things like Undertale, where, you know, like, there's very much a game, but it's also, like, sculptured around a pretty compelling story.
Yeah, the point of it is the story.
Yeah. The point of it is the story, and it's like, yeah, sure, the that Undertale only works as a game, but things like, Kentucky Route Zero is a game I love that I will talk about forever in terms of narrativist gaming. I think I said it right that time. And then we get things like Overwatch, where it's like there's a world building, but then like everything that happens in the game is so almost contrary to the world building they've done. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can load up Widowmaker and Tracer on the same team and they'll kind of snark at each other, but that's about it.
Right, or you can have a team with multiples of the same character, or you can have two teams playing against each other with, the same person, so, yeah, it's all fucked up.
Yeah, and then you get, like, stuff like Uncharted that is two separate experiences sort of crushed into each other. Not to, like, knock Uncharted for that, but Uncharted is an action platformer with I don't even know how long the cutscenes would be, but like a decent sized movie, just kind of crammed in between levels.
Each one is like, I know this because I compiled them when I was making my Uncharted video. Mm-hmm. Check it out if you haven't. Great but Late was a good one. I worked really hard on it. Yeah, shameless plug. But I think each one is between 4 and 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
it's like
a substantial movie.
That the game and the narrative sort of happen independently of each other. Like, the narrative is good in there, and the game is also good in there, but they don't super interact.
I don't know if I totally agree with that. I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like you go from A to B in the game, from like cutscene to cutscene, and like the gameplay's there, and then.
Do you mean that it's like cutscene gameplay sequence,
sort of. Nothing. Like a lot of the gameplay sequences don't interact with the cutscenes.
See, that is where I would disagree to a point, just because I think that generally the through line is the character dialogue continues through the gameplay, and that does connect it to the story, because you do get like moments of expanding the narrative that only come from moments that are not cutscenes. But otherwise, I would say...
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a real narrative dissonance, that's for sure.
It feels like I'm playing the points that would be edited out of a movie, if that makes sense.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because it's the moments that, logically get Nate to the next beat that advances the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm arguing is that... Because I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
In those moments, there's character building.
Okay.
And that's relevant to
fair.
the plot. And that's... I don't know. I do wish... more games took advantage of that. There aren't many games that do that, but not many games are like companion based either. So that's
true.
I really that's the thing I cherish in games. Honestly, I think having like a
friendship.
Honestly, like having a character that is a main character that you don't play, that like you spend time with, I think definitely connects you to a narrative more. Like in a way where you're like a lone gunman. Definitely, it's a different experience.
Yeah, I guess...
Unless you're, like, Dishonored, because the whole game is based on how you take it yourself. If you had someone with you...
Right, that's what I mean. Like, that's, like, one of those lone gunman games, and that's a very different narrative. But you're in it because, like, Corvo has skin in that game, which is cool.
If you had someone with you, it would detract almost.
I mean...
Yeah, the first one. The second one, I'm not saying... I'm not even sure they're going to pair up. But the first one, at least, would be...
I think they're, like, 2 separate campaigns.
I think so.
And they're both, like, present at points in missions in each campaign.
That's cool.
I could... see it going well. Like, you know how the first Dishonored sort of, you can approach basically however you want, but at certain points in the mission, there's like beats you hit every time.
Yeah, there's like a mid part of the level.
There's a choke point that like narratively, or not even narratively, just like this is the one box in the level where you can progress from the one side to the other.
Poison this guy, like you have to get rid of this guy in some way.
Or not even get rid of this guy in some way, just like literally... There's a big wall in the middle of the level, and there's one gate through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that happens a couple times.
Yep. It's like...
Usually once per level.
The level where you have to go kidnap Sokolov, it's like, you still have to go up and you have to hit the top of the bridge.
Yeah.
And you have to turn the bridge on and take the lights out.
Right.
And how you do that is, your call, but you still have to go to that room and, like, do those switches.
Right.
And so I could see stuff like, okay, when you get to this choke point in the level... then Emily on the other side is gonna make a distraction for you, and then you have to cut and like...
Well, that'd be cool.
That was my thought.
Really
I was thinking it would be somewhere like that, or that there would be like 2 separate narratives that like you play one level as Corvo, you play one level as Emily. There's one level where they're like both involved in the mission,
Yeah.
you know, and you're maybe changing perspective, something like that. But to take it back to Japanese games.
Jeez. That's
Hey man, it's whatever. It's a video game podcast.
Yeah.
We're talking about narrative in games.
Stuff.
I think I really wonder what the turning point was for JRPGs. I think it really was that, like, we're sitting here talking now, like, we got off on a tangent a little bit about, like, Western games with interesting narrative. Like, I feel like it used to be that, like, Japanese games were the, like, where you went for narrative in games, and when, like, Western RPGs started kind of, like, catching up, that, you know, and the Japanese game market saw, I mean, I at least have this opinion that the last generation, the Japanese market saw, like, a real significant stagnation.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, like, the tropes of JRPGs didn't evolve, and it wasn't necessarily kind to them. To a point that, like, there was better ways to show off the capabilities of the hardware than doing turn-based, you know, story-driven RPGs. Especially when you had things like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, like, scratching the itch that JRPGs used to, you know, do for people. And maybe even doing them better. Thoughts, feels?
I mean, I don't know if they necessarily scratch the same itch. It's like, to go back to my spreadsheets example, like, particularly Mass Effect, where you just, like, you level skill points and you swap out your equipment as you go.
The first game is spreadsheety as fuck.
It's not, like, not even spreadsheety as fuck. It's spreadsheety as fuck for, like, a Western game, but
that's
it's not.
True. Yeah, that's fair. It's no Final Fantasy.
It's no Final Fantasy. It's no, like, oh, I gotta do 3 levels in this job to get my attack stat this high, then I gotta do, you know, finish the whole job class on this other one, then I gotta get the magic sword in that side quest.
Yeah. No, it's just like, here's some guns. Pick one.
Here's some guns, pick one. You know, as you level up, pick which power you want to upgrade. There's no trap builds in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
It's just like, pick a thing and get good at it.
Yeah. And that's, you could say the same thing about, like, you know, other really notable Western RPGs like The Elder Scrolls and Fallout are very, like, similar in that it's just kind of like, pick a direction, do some stuff, level up that ability. Yeah.
It's pretty brilliant. I think a lot of the Western games gave more player agency. You know, I think that's really what their biggest thing was, and a lot of people like caught on to that because
that's really a thing in JRPGs. You're right.
Yeah,
you're always inhabiting a character and going through a very specific.
Yeah, you're not like really picking your own path usually. You're like are something, or like you're always up. It's like I've been doing this for 10 years, and now I'm starting the game. Like your character's already been into the situation usually.
Yeah, the character usually has history,
pretty much,
or it's like
or
the classic forced into a situation. Yeah,
like most of the Shin Megami games, it's just like world ended and you lived, and guess what? You're the guy. It's like okay.
It's like Bravely Default's like that, where it's like one day you wake up
and your town's exploded, and you just happen to be
the only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stuck in a crater, and you're like, well, shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right. So I think like you know I've always appreciated those kinds of games because like the good story narrative kind of thing you're talking about would really like draw me back to it. But there comes a point when like they almost start feeling crappy after a while. I think that was like the last generation that just nothing was like really standing out.
It was more of the same.
Yeah, I don't really think that like you know they like you said they didn't evolve. I guess they didn't really like think like hey you know we could like make like a really good story with these games you know instead of just making like a story that's its own universe and it's like it's its own thing.
I honestly can't think of like a really great JRPG from the last gen.
I can't really either.
I can't think of one.
And that's the problem,
which is like sad because
like even Armored Core games,
the GameCube and the PS2 had great RPGs.
Yeah, I used to Armored Core.
No, it's like but there hits a point where like I like three was good. I think 3 is the one I'm thinking about. Like 1, 2 good. I remember that. 3 I think was the one I liked last, and then 4 it's like weird. You know, it just wasn't the same thing. 5 especially. 5 was just fucking bonkers. Like it wasn't even the same game anymore to me. But it's like the formula worked because it was its own thing. Well, what changed? You know. I don't know. Something just happened during that generation where everything just kind of sucked for it.
I don't know, dude. I really do think it's like I feel like in a lot of ways, like the Japanese market failed to innovate. Like it failed to keep evolving, and I think like I feel like maybe gamers' expectations maybe matured a bit too, because I think that like during the PS1 era, like a lot of those JRPGs I really do think hold up, but a lot of them are like, you know, like you said, like. They're not graphically beautiful like the Super Nintendo games. A lot of them do still have kind of like goofy, wonky Japanese anime kind of stories that are very tropey with very tropey characters, and I think like a lot of that stuff didn't change, and there weren't these big standout titles, and like this.
It's like you do see other. Oh, sorry.
It's just, it's so weird going back and playing those games because like some of them super hold up, and they're the ones that just that didn't try to do anything new, just sort of iterate on the SNES games.
Yeah.
It's like Suikoden 2 is phenomenal. And that's like, it's still fun to like look at and play because it doesn't control like crap because it's just a Super Nintendo game but with like more power under the hood.
Yeah.
Versus like Final Fantasy VII is like, I am a triangle with a couple other triangles and a block of yellow on my head. Doop 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 doop.
Yep.
The thing I was gonna say, I think like you do see some games like Resident Evil, like it was more about like horror elements, like less shoot every zombie in the face, and then you get to 4, and it's like we're changing it, cool. Like you see them like changing to the GameCube, it's like new elements we can play with. Like let's make it like interesting. We'll give it a new thing. It's not just zombies right now, right? And then you get to 5, and it's like suddenly it's an action game. It's just like pretty much it's an action game.
I think it was they didn't realize why people liked 4. They went too into those action.
I think what you were saying about like they tried to evolve is like some genres did and they took the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh, we gotta upgrade. Like everyone wants actiony shit, right? So it's like 5 and 6 like collectively worse as time goes on now.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm not saying the new one's gonna be bad, but 6 was garbage. It
looks like 7's gonna be a return to the roots.
Right, and you see like a lot of games that had their elements, like even if they weren't specifically like a JRPG, just you see like games developed by Japanese companies that they're like, hey, like we gotta put more action into these things, and like even like Metal Gear Solid, like the first one is like a stealth game. The last one was like you can run around and shoot people in the face all day. You just literally run around and shoot people.
5 is still like at its core a stealth
5 is
game.
Great though.
I love 5,
but
and like 5, you can blow shit up and play loud. But
you wouldn't have like what's the Raiden game where he's like ninja
Rising?
Running? Yeah, you wouldn't have that if there wasn't a trend to get more action into games. Where the entire point of the game is you're a cyber ninja and fuck everything. So like it's not Metal Gear Solid. It has the same title and everything.
No, it's not Metal Gear Solid. It's Metal Gear Rising.
I know, but it's like it has Metal Gear in it, and like
that's
it's
true.
Implying
but
that
it's like.
It's not what I expect for a Metal Gear game.
Well, that's why it's a spin-off.
Yeah, it's the spin-off game that was like...
It's just like companies trying to say like, you like action, right? Take this. And it's like, it's okay, Sure, it's alright, but like, stick to what you know.
I mean, ever since like Metal Gear 1, people were saying to Kojima, you should make a game where you play the ninja.
Yeah.
And so he was like, fine, I'll do it. And
maybe don't play as the ninja where it's like you're be able to like punch a skyscraper down. Play as the ninja where you have to like go in like maybe thief style. Like,
yeah, but that's That's Metal Gear Solid. Those are all stealth games.
Like
I know.
Like
that's just my personal preference.
The Metal Gear Solid like cyborg ninjas are the kind of guys who go 1-on-1 against the Metal Gear with a fucking sword and
You're
win.
Right. I know. And there is like parts that are just completely off the wall insane, and like someone's arm can take over a brain. Sure,
yeah,
like that makes no sense. But
now
I guess I'd accept it. No, that wasn't even nanomachines. That was Liquid Snake's arm.
No, that was retconned in 4. It's nanomachines.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Ocelot was undergoing like gene therapy to become more liquid.
I thought it was just biology.
No,
everything's nanomachines.
Everything's nanomachines.
Damn it.
No, it's actually just nanomachines.
Fucking shit.
Ocelot's the real hero of the Metal Gear
I know
series.
He is. Fine.
Pete's so confused. Or just doesn't care, I'm not sure which.
Both? Don't take your pick.
That's why Resident Evil 5 or what's his nuts punched the fucking boulder with his Chris punched the boulder, and he's like fighting Wesker and Wesker could barely take the boulder and he's like boulder punch as it's coming at him, right? Yeah, he can do that. I mean, I'll suspend disbelief for a little bit, but that's just too much. It's like when I saw that I was like, no.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Do that.
There's maybe it was just that, like... I mean, granted, we were also, like, kids during the 90s, so I definitely think that's part of it, too. But I don't know.
Why is there always an HD remaster of, like, Resident Evil 1 and 2, right? Like, the first ones of those games always get, like, more attention when they come back out,
Yeah.
And it's like, the new ones come out, people could, like, give a shit, So, like, people want to play the first one on 5 different systems, There's something good about it.
Yeah.
There's something good about it that, like, isn't being recaptured. And I don't know what it is. It's just something isn't just what it used to be.
I just think it's like, I don't know, man, like a lot of those games, they were revolutionary at the time and then just didn't continue to evolve, and then we saw other developers in like the West and like in emerging markets for development just do those things better.
Yeah.
You know, and like continue to iterate and try to like grow. You know, and a lot of Japanese developers seemed content to do things the way they had been doing them, and like in some ways even like kind of rest on their laurels. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like last generation was like a real wake-up call, and like maybe we're finally seeing...
When the money stopped coming in, they realized.
Yeah, man, I mean, you can only burn so much goodwill, I guess, right?
I think with the PC space expanding and like how much cheaper it is to import stuff on PC than to do like a full-fledged, like Western release on console and stuff, it'll be good for the genre, because like I think a big part of why we didn't get more JRPGs last gen is because the Wii and PlayStation sort of diverged. And so, like, I guess you got Xenoblade. People like that one a lot. I haven't played it on the Wii. But, like, now it's the PlayStation's the console for JRPGs.
Yeah, well, and I think even, like, in a lot of ways, more so, like, the Vita.
Yeah, like, and both handhelds.
Yeah.
But, like, the Japanese market has no interest in the Xbox.
Yeah, right.
So... Japanese developers have no interest in the Xbox, and nobody puts JRPGs in the Xbox. And with the PC making it way cheaper, it's like you don't have to do a full-fledged PS4 release for whatever your 17-word long title is.
Yeah.
Legend of Skycrest, Skycrest Legends.
Yeah. All salient points.
And... so, like, now you can just, pay a translator a couple grand and it's on Steam.
I don't know, hopefully that'll mean, more RPGs come stateside.
Yeah.
And we see, because I don't think that the desire for them has gone down. I really don't.
I don't, yeah.
I think that there's...
It's like Pokemon, again, to get back to Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon still fucking sells.
Yeah.
Everybody still, like, enjoys the gameplay of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. And I think the series that have managed to survive, even though they're still not what they were, there's still love for them, even though they've, like I think we can all agree, like, I haven't cared about a Final Fantasy game since 10. And, I mean, we don't all agree on that number, but we can all agree it's been a while since you cared.
I agree on that number.
So, like, if that's the case, right, I think the fact that we're at Final Fantasy 15, there's been, 8 Final Fantasy games since then, including all the spin-offs and stuff, people still want Final Fantasy to be good. People are still rooting for these franchises, and I think that matters. I think as long as there's love for these games, then there's a chance for there to be a rebound, and, this might be it.
Yeah.
We have a ton of really, Persona 5 looks like it's going to be really good. I'm not a Persona guy, but the people that like Persona seem really, really excited for it, and from what I've seen, it looks good.
Atlas fans are always really
Yo,
excited.
I love Atlas.
Atlas makes good games.
I'm not saying but saying Atlas fans could be excited if their game was called Turd, and it was just
So Atlas is making it.
Holy shit!
I'll play a Turd. Honestly,
That's
if
what I'm
Atlas
saying.
was publishing a game called Turd, I'd probably try it.
That's what I'm saying.
I would.
Atlas fans,
Yeah.
are some of the best fans you could ever have.
They have.
So,
I mean, Atlas is just about... I don't want to say the perfect developer, but they have the best relationship I think you could ask for with the base. They know what their fans want, and
they just give it to them.
They give it to them
every time,
and more of it, and they make good games, and they make good. They understand the JRPG very well, or more specifically, the Western market for the JRPG, because Atlas games don't sell great in Japan.
Well, except for Persona.
Yeah.
Persona's fucking huge there.
Yeah, but Atlas games have over the past 5 years outsold every other JRPG in America by a long shot.
They're the only ones that
Yeah.
I wouldn't call their games distinctly AAA, but they're the only A developer that's making JRPGs anymore. Except for Square, and their games are...
And Squeenix makes bad games now.
They do. Really do. It's been a long time. So, any final thoughts? We're probably going a little long here, so...
I got an idea. Name a classic JRPG that you would like to see remade or reimagined or just HD remastered, and why.
Okay. Let's start with one of you guys. You asked a question.
Chrono
You got one in
Trigger.
mind?
I love Chrono Trigger. I wouldn't want the gameplay to change or anything, but if they were gonna change it from being like sprites to something cool, like they could do that. But I wouldn't want anything else to change.
Yo, I'd love to see like a full cell shaded Toriyama
They should do that.
Chrono Trigger.
Like, you remember, what was it? I think it was Dragon Quest X on the PS2.
Yeah.
That was the first one that had, like, the big full 3D models that just looked like Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
Like, if they just did that with
I
Chrono
would get
Trigger,
it.
that'd be fucking awesome.
It's because it's like my favorite JRPG, so why not?
Yeah,
I'd
that'd
love
be cool.
to see Suikoden 2, and like the first one too, but definitely 2, not, you know, touched even a little bit, just ported to like 3DS.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with a game that's not one that I have a ton of love for, but one that like I had an interesting relationship with. Is I'd like to see them do like a full HD style remake of Legend of Dragoon.
Ooh, shit.
Because
That'd be fun.
I never played that game, but like you know, you guys are regular viewers of the channel.
It's
you know
good.
our buddy Spaz.
That's my number 2.
Spaz is like favorite RPG I think besides Chrono Trigger.
No, that's the thing.
And-
Spaz and I have exact opposites. It's like
And,
I'm Chrono and then Dragoon. He's out.
I think he's the other way around, yeah.
So.
And so yeah, he loves Legend of Dragoon, and I remember he replayed it at my house when we were in like 7th or 8th grade, and I like watched the whole thing. So it's a game that like I'd love to experience again, and I think like I know you can get like the original version on the PlayStation Store shop for the PS3 and maybe PS4 now.
I think
but
though you can't skip the cutscenes in it for like all the transformation sequences, which are like 45 seconds long each.
yeah,
So it's like a
I'd-
fight could be 20 minutes.
I'd like to see them do like give it the kind of treatment that they gave to like Kingdom Hearts when they remade it, because like I don't know if you guys know that story,
No.
but when they ported Kingdom Hearts 1 to the PS3, they for some reason all of the data for the game was lost.
Oh.
So they had to just remake the game from the ground up, whole new engine and everything. I'd like to see them do that with Legend of Dragoon.
That'd be cool.
You know, like just new models, new everything, tweak the things that are kind of shitty like they did in Uncharted, you know, and just like tighten it up and like give it a modern release, and then be like, hey, does anyone care about this?
I
Because
do.
Sony owns the IP and they can just make another one. You know, and it's like, so that's my pick.
I would play.
Alright. So, it's been real. This has gone, I think, longer than the last one did by a sizable margin.
Probably. We had a lot to talk
We
about.
had a lot to say.
Oh, no, I was about to say
I was about to
Look
say.
at that. We always just feel it.
Yeah.
When it's about an hour, it's like, all right, time to wrap things up.
Anywho, if you enjoyed this, like it, share it, subscribe it. If you want to talk JRPGs with us, let us know in the comments.
Or hit us up on Twitter.
Or hit us up on Twitter, or, you know, just shoot me a text.
What? Do you want to just give people your phone number? It's like,
Woo, woo.
I'm just going to put Andy's phone number on right here.
999 bucks.
That's it, and you can also get him at buttsex.info. Just kidding. That is Ninja Sex Party's website.
I am Ninja Sex Party now.
Andy's both of them, actually. Alright, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the
Bye,
next
we'll see
episode
you
of the
guys.
Slackcast.